So today I thought I'd do one of those thoughts while reading videos that I do sometimes. So if you've not seen those videos, it is basically me talking about what kinds of thoughts I had while reading a specific book. And this time I'm going to talk about...
When you try your best but you don't succeed.
Frostblood is about a girl called Ruby, and she is a fireblood who lives in Frostblood lands. One day the Frostblood soldiers find her in hiding and they kill her mother and they try to take her to prison. Well, they actually succeed in taking her to prison, but... And that is the day that she vows to avenge her mother. She receives training by Frostblood monks and a mysterious warrior called Arcus. Now Arcus is a rebel Frostblood and he's got quite the sizable chip on his shoulder. But yeah, Ruby has basically just one chance to stop the power-crazy Frostblood king who took everything from her. So I thought the book was good. I found myself not really caring about the characters too much. I thought that they were a bit too... like some moments I was just like, I don't even care about this book. Like what happens, I don't care. So it was a bit of a bust like that, but as it was like, as I was reading the book, I found myself caring a little bit more towards the end, which was good. I thought that the characters were a bit immature, but then again, I feel like, I mean, this is a YA novel, I'm not really a young adult anymore, I don't think. So this might suit you better if you're a bit younger than I am. The book was very fast-paced, there was a lot of things going on, and in all I think I'd give this book 3 out of 5 stars. Now, moving on to the spoiler part of this video, so if you haven't read the Frostblood series, or like even the first book, then pause this video now, come back later when you've read it. I'll see you then. I thought the book was informative of the world, but not very descriptive. So yeah, Arcus is afraid of fire, which immediately brought me to the conclusion that he is burnt under that mask of his, and that made me think either he is royalty and has been like attempted assassination or something like that, or he's a soldier who's been fighting the Firebloods. While Ruby's at the monastery, she runs away and encounters this girl called Katrin. And she was so cool. I mean, she's got this illness and it doesn't let her, like, it doesn't stop her. She doesn't let this illness stop her, which is just, I thought it was great. I thought she was so cool. She's really young, and you know, the fact that she's a girl or that she's ill doesn't stop her from speaking her mind, which I thought was great. Now, I just want to say that I think Arcus is like the king of sass. I mean, I love his connection to Ruby, like how they bicker. I think that's quite funny, and I thought that was like the most fun in the whole book, really. I just enjoyed it a lot, and I thought the characters got more depth because of their like bickering, like their friendship or companionship was more real to me because of their bickering. I see a ship on the horizon. That was a really bad joke. Also, like, how precious is Ruby for naming a horse Butter? That was so cute. It was just really, really cute and precious. I thought that was so funny. Whenever Brother Thistle is in the room, I feel like I'm like talking to Dumbledore, or that Ruby's talking to Dumbledore. I mean, he just gives off that kind of vibe, which I thought was great because Dumbledore is like the most adorable teacher ever. Wow, and Brother Lack, I seriously hate that guy. It's just like, no. Ice crackles over the floor from Arcus' chair. Ruby asks, is that his version of a tantrum? LOL! Most powerful Fireblood? Yes, girl! Brother Thistle is the boss. Much ice whip, such wow. It's weird about Arcus' eyes though, like that his shades of blue like changes. I think that's kind of weird but also kind of cool. And also it takes a lot to let yourself be playful and make jokes when like you feel like the whole world is upon your shoulders. I find that very admirable to, like, I find that it's an admirable quality of Arcus's to have when, I mean, he's facing so much and he just sort of like can still be playful, which is great. I think that that shows good character, and yeah, and it's a coping mechanism, I get that, but like I just feel like it's good, it's healthy. I am quite impressed by Arcus's, well, by him trying to teach Ruby in different methods. It really shows that he's taking her feelings into account and her progress into account. Now, before Ruby kisses Arcus for the first time, she traces his lips with her finger, and I just thought that scene was really tender. It shows that they're both, like, they want this so much, but they're afraid of what it'll do to each other, and I just thought it was really, that point was very beautiful to read, and I just thought that it deserves some recognition. I don't know what's going on with my hands today with all these finger guns things, but yeah, it's a thing now. So, the throne is controlling the king is what we think, and the child of light will break the curse. Is Ruby supposed to be the child of light? Because, I don't know, like, it feels kind of obvious with the whole, like, oh, fire, she's the child of light, of course, but I don't know, it's just like a thing, I don't know. I feel that that would be like super obvious. I would take you far away from this place and keep you safe. Aww, Arcus, you block of ice, you're so cute. Another thing about this book is that it's really predictable. I mean, like I said, I thought that he would be like Arcus, I thought that Arcus would be highborn or, you know, like a soldier or something, and whoop-de-doo, here we go. Apparently, he knows King Rasmus and everything. They were like, what, besties or something? I don't know, it was just, it's so predictable. I mean, if he knows Rasmus, there's this one point that I was like, I mean, if he knows him and he has this fire and, you know, stuff going on. Maybe he is the elder brother, but he escaped the assassination, because we already know that he was assassinated. But, you know, he could have just not died, and then that would be Arcus. Because that would be a plausible plot twist. But not really, because this book is so predictable! God. Brother Lack is like the most ugly character ever. It's just like he is driven by this fear and hate, and he will not see past any of it for it's so ugly that you can't see past your own fear and hate. Okay, sometimes I feel that Ruby is really immature, like how she reacted with his scars. I mean, I get it that she was like shocked and everything because of how he had been treated by a Fireblood, and I feel like there's a hair on my face but I can't find it, so I'm doing this all over, sorry. But anyway, yeah, I just feel like she is so rash and immature, and she just can't really see past her own nose at some points. Like, she can see how he's reacting, and then she'll put her own sort of thoughts onto what he's doing and come up with her own conclusions for it, and I just feel like that is just not a good way to go about things. And yes, she is better with that later in the book, and she is better with that when she actually talks to Arcus, but you know, that takes a while. So one of my notes really, like, literally reads, Ellie Blake's description of Arcus's eyes has me swooning from left to right. Gosh dang it. That's like the whole note. I don't know, okay, like, what? So, this book is kind of funny because, like, even though we're talking about dead people in catacombs, We have humor. So, like, when we're in the tunnel, well, not we, but like when Ruby's in the tunnel to escape the Firebloods that's come to the monastery, the description of how she feels and what it looks like is that had my claustrophobic behind, like, so frustrated. I don't know, it was just so weird and I got so flustered. Like, I was literally going like, get me out of here. I don't want to be in here anymore. Okay, so the thing that's weird with this book is, like, there might not even actually be a bad guy, because apparently if we destroy the throne, maybe this curse will be lifted and, you know, King Rasmus won't be power hungry and cruel. And also, like, the thing with, like, both the Firebloods and the Frostblood have done both good and bad to each other, so I just feel like there's not really any people that are bad. Now, the castle interior, when Ruby first gets there to the Frostblood castle, I just felt that that seemed to look really pretty, and it reminded me of the castle that Elsa creates in Frozen. I don't know, it's just, maybe because, like, ice and ice. So, this dark flowing power that's inside of the throne, when we destroy the throne, will it evaporate and die, or will it sort of fly away and, I don't know, inhabit a body? What's happening here? Like, I don't understand. Okay, so the King Rasmus, he must be hella powerful if he can just sort of like almost freeze a Ruby with just one look. I mean, come on. Wait, so is this some kind of like Quirrell and Voldemort thing going on here with the chair and King Rasmus? Like, how? What is going on? And, you know, how can it still be, like, affecting him when he's not sitting in the chair? I don't understand. If she can kill the beast that's in the dungeon, which is made of ice, why can't she kill the throne? Like, how hard can that be? We might have a potential ally in Morella, but I'm not really sure that Ruby, can trust her. I mean, I feel like it's a bit too good to be true, but also, like, why? What is her ulterior motive? Because she doesn't really seem to be a person that just, like, does this for, you know, the good of the people or something. Now, the fire beak was really cool. I was getting some serious, like, Phoenix vibes off of it, but it was cool, and I got really nervous about, like, what would happen to it during the tournament. But that was kind of good because, like, usually I don't really care about the characters in this book, so. Ruby's first match was, like, super quick, but it was really brutal, and it was quite well written, actually. In a second match, or fight, or whatever, she was infected by this darkness. Like, how does it even reach her? Like, it's supposed to be way up there and she's way down here. And yeah, you know, but it was cool to, like, actually experience what it was like, so we can actually see it from King Rasmus's point of view or something. I thought that was kind of cool. And I was really confused when Clay said that he didn't tell the soldiers. Like, what is that about? I mean, if he didn't do it, who did? Like, I don't understand this book. There is no how. Like, when are we getting the full information here? Oh, okay, fine. They just saw Ruby do it. Oh, alright then. Fine. That seems legit. The scenes in the arena describes what is wrong with how we treat animals and people who are inferior to us in the society that we have today, which I feel is really good that we present that in a book so that people can actually feel and see what is actually going on. They can't be blinded by it, which I think is really, really good. It is something that we need to talk about, and it is something that needs to be represented, which I think Ellie Blake did a very good job of doing in the scenes with the animals in the ring, or the tournament match place area. Some weird supernatural crap is happening in this book. Like, what? This dark man with horns standing over Ruby while she's sleeping, like, what is that about? Ellie Blake, what is that about? I did not see Arcus being Ruby's last champion champion in the tournament. I did not see that one coming, so good job there, but like, that was weird. I was really happy to see him though, because he was like the whole thing with this book. I mean, I just wanted him to be like there all the time, because he's the fluff and he's the cuteness and he's the just little itty bitty ice chip and he's so cute. So the book was kind of boring without his sass, no offense, but it was kind of boring without his sass. And when he says that he's King Rasmus's older brother, I was like, ooh, there it is! I also have this theory of him being like the child of light and Ruby being the child of darkness, because King Rasmus is all like, oh, you're the only one that the dark power can, like, you know, inhabit or something. I don't know, but that's my theory anyway. So the Minax or Minax escaped, of course. Like, what else? Otherwise there wouldn't be the other two books. And the king is dead. He was just a pawn, it turns out. Now the champions are fighting on Arcus' side, which is awesome. We love that. And Arcus has taken over the Frostblood Palace, which is nice. Happy. You know, Ruby, she destroyed the throne, let the Minax, whatever his name is, out. And yeah, that was basically the end of the book. You'll have to see what happens in the next one. I don't know if I will be continuing this series, but you know, it was fast-paced and it was fun to read. So I might do it just because of that reason. I mean, it was a good book, not great, but it was entertaining and fast-paced and, you know, funny. So yeah, it's a good book, maybe a bit better for people who are a bit younger than me, but I still enjoyed reading it. Now that's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, then click a thumbs up or subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.